All right, it's Tuesday, and that means it is time for Tuesday Tier Rankings, where we look at every starting quarterback from Week 9, just Week 9 of NFL action, and based on their performance in Week 9, we put them into one of these 5 tiers: great, good, fine, poor, or trash. Let's get it going by division as usual, and it is the NFC East going first. Dak Prescott. Cowboys are a mess. They are an absolute mess. Dak Prescott, I don't think, is the biggest mess, but I still thought Dak, I'm going to put him in fine just because, he went out and Cooper Rush came in. I don't think he had any real disasters in the game, but it's not just a Dak problem. It's a Cowboys problem. The Cowboys as a whole are a disaster. I don't think Dak is the biggest part of that. I've talked about it before on here, so I'm not going to get into it again, but I ultimately thought Dak was fine, I guess. Jalen Hurts, I'm going to tell you what, the Eagles and Jalen Hurts are flying under the radar. I thought Jalen Hurts was great in, I think it was kind of less than stellar conditions there in that game, but I thought Jalen Hurts was great, and I think Jalen Hurts has been great. The Eagles had a stretch there at the beginning where they didn't look as good, and so people kind of fell asleep on them, fell asleep on Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts has been playing at a very high level for the last month or so, and I thought Jalen Hurts was great on Sunday. Jaden Daniels, coming off of that Hail Mary last week, I thought Jaden Daniels was good against the Giants. I think Jaden Daniels, I don't know if he's been below good this entire season. He's either been good or great every week, and judging by some of the trades that the Commanders are making right now, they're trying to, their window's open. They're going for it, and he is the key reason why. I thought Jaden Daniels was good against the Giants. Daniel Jones, honestly, Daniel Jones is a backup quarterback. Daniel Jones does not need to be starting for the Giants or anybody else, but ultimately, I guess Daniel Jones was fine by Daniel Jones' standards on Sunday. He was fine. He was not a disaster, but it's just the Giants are not a good team. Daniel Jones should be a backup quarterback somewhere, and fine is most of the time about as good as you're going to get with Daniel Jones. Now we go to Josh Allen. I thought Josh Allen was great once again. Josh Allen, to me, should be one of the front runners in the MVP conversation. He has been good to great all year long. They won a close one against a game Miami team, in a close game back and forth there in the fourth quarter. The Bills, Josh Allen made some great plays. He was great. Drake May, who played against my Tennessee Titans on Sunday, and I thought Drake May was good. When you consider he's on a team that's not very good, he had 95 rushing yards. The play he made at the end of regulation, yes, I don't understand what the Titans were doing defensively, but that was a great play by him. I think there's a lot of upside to Drake May. He's just on a bad team, but I thought Drake May was good. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, okay. This game Thursday night against Houston may have been a season saver for them. I thought Aaron Rodgers was great in this game, and he needed to be. They needed him. Did they ever need Aaron Rodgers to step up and do something great? And I thought he did on Thursday night. I thought Aaron Rodgers played great. Finally got the ball to Devontae Adams, had some really nice balls. I thought Aaron Rodgers was great on Thursday night. Tua. I thought Tua was good. I think Tua's been good. The Miami Dolphins are a considerably better team with Tua. It just feels too little too late for them. But also, I will say this. There are a lot of terrible teams in the NFL. The Dolphins are 2-7, and normally that would have you out of it. But the AFC last 2 wildcard spots are pretty wide open. So if the Dolphins can have a strong second half to the year, who knows? They're a better team with Tua, and I thought Tua was good. Had him in a position to win against a team that many people thought they couldn't even compete with. Caleb Williams, I have some grace for Caleb Williams because I do feel like the Bears are not a well-coached team. I think the Bears' offensive line is terrible. You've got DJ Moore just walking off the field in the middle of the play. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Caleb's scrambling, trying to find somebody. And DJ Moore, who seems clear that he wanted to stick with Justin Fields, he walked off the field in the middle of the play. I mean, it's just the Bears, it's been a rough couple of weeks for them with the Hail Mary and then this performance. Just, I don't know. So I don't know how much of that depends on Caleb. I guess I'll say Caleb was fine, even though I do feel like he missed. He got very much outperformed by Kyler Murray, but I mean, he's a rookie. He's a rookie, even though he was the top pick. I mean, Jaden Daniels, I've talked about it before. Jaden Daniels is the exception and not the rule. Most guys are not going to be able to do what Jaden Daniels has done for Washington and just come in and be great. You need help, and when you've got, in my opinion, not great coaching, bad offensive line, guys walking off the field in the middle of plays. Ugh. Sam Darnold. I thought Sam Darnold for the Vikings was good. I thought he was quite good, actually, going against a bad Colts defense, but the Vikings needed a win, and Sam Darnold is a good guy to have in there. He's a good bridge quarterback, and I think the Vikings, obviously with the injury to J.J. McCarthy, and they needed somebody to step up, Sam Darnold's done a good job. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to take them to the Super Bowl. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to win them a title, but, I mean, I think Sam Darnold will get them to the playoffs. Jared Goff. Jared Goff didn't do anything spectacular. I think the Lions are the best team in the NFL right now, although Buffalo would probably have something to say about that. So would Kansas City. Tough conditions weather-wise, but I thought Goff was good. He hung in there. Didn't have any disasters. Like his counterpart that I'm about to talk about. I thought Goff was good. Jordan Love, here's the thing. Jordan Love it's weird with him. It's a weird situation with Jordan Love because sometimes he'll make throws and you'll be like, that is a franchise quarterback right there. And then sometimes, I mean, the best thing I could compare it to is our guy in Nashville, Will Levis. He does some Will Levis type throw. I mean, the interception that he threw, with trying to throw that screen pass or whatever, that was hideous. And he averages having one of those a game. So, I mean, I don't really know where to put him. The final score of this game is not even indicative of how lopsided it was. I mean, this game really felt like it was all Detroit, all the way. I'm going to put Jordan Love in the poor category, and I'll tell you why, because it's getting to the point where these mistakes that he's making and these interceptions and these boneheaded throws, I mean, that's going to be the difference between the Packers potentially being a championship team or not. I mean, you just can't do that. You got to protect the ball, especially, I mean, at least Will Levis is on a team that, like, they're very much in the middle of a rebuild. Jordan Love, I mean, this is a team that could have Super Bowl aspirations, and you're making plays like that? Yikes. Joe Burrow, similar to Jalen Hurts, I think Joe Burrow has flown under the radar. I thought Joe Burrow was great this week. 5 touchdowns. I mean, the guy was just playing out of his mind, and he's really been good all year. It's just the Bengals. Yeah, the Bengals have some issues that we've talked about here before. They were playing a really bad Raiders team on Sunday. But Joe Burrow, with the exception of like 1 week, he's been consistently good. In the last couple of weeks, I thought he's been great. People are sleeping on him because his team is not as good as a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson, but Joe Burrow has been solid. Jamus Winston. I know everybody likes Jamus. Everybody loved the Browns beating the Ravens last week and Jamus throwing that game winner. But, I knew this was coming. I thought Jamus was trash. I thought Jamus was trash on Sunday. Just awful. And I think that this is kind of what Jameis's career has been. I mean, it's a roller coaster. He'll look quite good 1 week, and then the next week he'll just be terrible. And that's what happened here. He looked great against the Ravens, and then the next week against the Chargers, he looked absolutely terrible. So he goes in the trash. Lamar Jackson, Ravens got back on track. I thought Lamar was great. I think Lamar, much like Josh Allen, I think he belongs in the MVP conversation. He's just what a player. What a football player. And Lamar Jackson was great again this week against a Denver team that was 5-3. So, I mean, this was a quality win coming off of a tough loss. Kyler Murray, I mean, the Cardinals are rolling. I think they've won 3 in a row, 4 in a row. They're at the top of their division. Kyler's been good. I think this week against the Bears, I'm going to say Kyler was good. He's didn't do anything spectacular, but I thought Kyler, he's been good for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's got the Cardinals in a good position. He's got the weapons around him now that he didn't have before. So I'll put Kyler into good. Matt Stafford, once again, I'm going to put Stafford into great. I mean, Matt Stafford, again, the Rams got started off slow. They've got their guys healthy again, and I think Matt Stafford, the game winner in overtime, I thought Stafford's been just great. He's been terrific these last couple of weeks, and the Rams are going to be dangerous. Gino Smith's a tough one because Gino always throws for a lot of yards. He always throws for a lot of yards, but he had 3 interceptions. I feel like he hurt his team this week. I'm going to put Gino into poor. Ultimately, I think the ceiling with Gino Smith and the Seahawks, I like Gino, but at the end of the day, the Rams had Matt Stafford, who you can trust to win a game like that, and the Seahawks had Geno Smith. I thought Geno was poor. Justin Herbert, I said last week, Justin Herbert has very quietly had a good season with not a lot of weapons, and I thought Justin Herbert was good again on Sunday against the Browns. I mean, the Browns are not good, but Justin Herbert, with not great weapons around him at wide receiver, Justin Herbert's been playing well, and I thought he was good again on Sunday. Patrick Mahomes on Monday Night Football, I thought this looked more like Patrick Mahomes. I thought Mahomes was great. Obviously getting our guy DeAndre Hopkins involved, remembering the Titans, yes indeed. Mahomes was great, and gritty win for them at home in overtime against a game Tampa Bay team. Bo Nix, welcome back down to earth to Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. I mean, I just don't think the Broncos as a whole are as good as their record suggests. I mean, what are they, 5-4 now? I just don't think the Broncos are as good as that record suggests. I think you saw just how much better the Ravens are than them. They came into this game with the same record as the Ravens, but we all knew they're not on the same. They're not on the same tier. As far as Bo Nix, I mean, I'm going to say Bo was. I'm going to say it was poor because I think Bo missed 3 easy touchdowns for the Broncos in this game. They lost 41-10. So, when you're playing a great team like Baltimore, you can't miss those, and Bo missed them. But I understand he's a rookie. This was probably their toughest opponent so far, probably. I mean, this was a big stage for him going head-to-head with Lamar Jackson. It is what it is. This is hopefully a learning moment for him, but welcome back down to earth. Gardner Minshew, the Raiders are terrible. Gardner Minshew was trash. He got benched for Desmond Ridder. The Raiders are in bad need of a quarterback, and assuming they're in the top 5 of the draft, look to them for a potential home for Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward because it's terrible. They're awful. Baker Mayfield, I thought Baker Mayfield was good. I know they lost, but I thought it was a very gritty performance by Baker to get them down there in position to win at the end against Kansas City on the road with no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin. I thought Baker hung in there. I thought Tampa Bay could have really made some noise in the NFC, but now with all the injuries, I think it's going to be tough. Atlanta has really taken control of that division. Bryce Young. Whew, boy. Bryce Young, I thought was fine. Bryce Young, you know what? And that's good because Bryce Young, early in the year, he was constantly in the trash every week, but the last couple of weeks, I think Bryce has been fine. They got the win. He's making some NFL throws. Hope on the horizon, maybe. And the Panthers have said they don't want to trade him. So evidently, they're planning to maybe come back with him next year. Hey, you drafted him first overall. You got to see. That's why it was stupid to bench him in the first place. I thought Bryce was fine. Derek Carr. Derek Carr returned to the lineup for the Saints this week. I gotta say poor. I mean, he's an improvement over Spencer Rattler and Jake Haener, but I mean, not much. I thought Derek Carr was poor. Hung his guy Chris Olave out to dry on that pass, got him hurt with a concussion. And you lost to the Panthers. I mean, come on. You lost to the Panthers. Kirk Cousins, Atlanta maybe flying under the radar. I thought Kirk was great. He's incredibly accurate. Doesn't throw a lot of incomplete passes. 3 touchdowns. And I don't know what more you could want. You paid him all that money, $200 million, come in and do this. He's throwing touchdowns. They're winning games. They're in control of the division. He has brought some real stability to that quarterback position, and I think he's played at a high level. I don't know. I don't think he's an MVP candidate or anything, but he's played at a very high level. He's got Atlanta in a good spot right now. Joe Flacco. It's not his fault what's happened in Indianapolis. It's not his fault that the coaching staff benched Anthony Richardson. It's not his fault. But for the moment, Sunday night, for what they needed from him, I thought Joe Flacco was trash. And I like Joe Flacco. But the Colts fans, I see them all the time since this Anthony Richardson thing where he got benched. They're distraught. They're upset. And I get it. At the very least, if the Colts could have come out and won this game, at least the fans could be like, you know what? At least we're winning with Flacco. But they didn't look good at all. He looked bad. And that pours salt in the wound. Because now not only have we benched our young guy, but the guy that we put in to win now looked bad and we lost in prime time. Just not a good week for the Colts. C.J. Stroud. You know what? Doggone it. I thought C.J. Stroud was poor. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. Texans are good. I understand they have injuries. Texans are good. C.J. Stroud is good. The Texans are going to win the AFC South. I don't think C.J. Stroud is as good as people want him to be. On a consistent basis. He has moments where he is very good. But on a consistent week-in, week-out basis, he puts up some real duds. And we give him the benefit of the doubt, yada, yada, yada. But in an NFL where we are so hard on certain guys because they put in bad performances, C.J. Stroud's had a couple of really bad performances this season. And this was another one on Thursday night against a Jets team that looked like their season might be over coming into this. And I get it. Listen, Stephon Diggs done for the year. Nico Collins hurt. I get that, but I mean, I'm watching Justin Herbert right now playing really good football with no good weapons. Lamar's always out here playing good football with no good weapons on the outside, no elite weapons. This was against the Jets, who had been horrible, and I thought C.J. Stroud was just poor. Trevor Lawrence. I'm going to give a little bit of grace to him, I guess. No, because, well, yeah. I mean, on one hand, I get, because, like, yes, you look at the box score, and Trevor had a couple of interceptions, but one of those was off of a guy's hands. The Jaguars are bad. Trevor is not the worst thing happening on this team, okay? But he's getting paid a lot of money. And I think he's been so underwhelming this season. I'm going to say he was poor too. I mean, I get some of it's not on him, but you're getting paid a lot of money. The wheel route, I mean, I thought Trevor was poor. And last but not least, it's the Titans with Mason Rudolph. By God, the best quarterback in AFC South this week. I thought Mason Rudolph was good. I thought he was good, legitimately good. Mason Rudolph is not going to help you beat Buffalo. He's not going to help you beat Detroit, but he can help you beat New England, and that's what he did. Thought he was good, to be in the position he was in, backup quarterback, stepping in for an already not good starter. Thought he played well. So, best quarterback in the AFC South this week, Mason by God Rudolph. So let's recap here. In the great tier, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Matt Stafford, Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins. In the good category, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Tua Tagovailoa, Sam Darnold, Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Baker Mayfield, and Mason Rudolph. In the fine category, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, Caleb Williams, Bryce Young. In the poor category, Jordan Love, Gino Smith, Bo Nix, Derek Carr, CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence. And in the trash, Jamus Winston, Gardner Minshew, and Joe Flacco. What do you think, everybody? Where'd I get it wrong? I know you'll let me know. God bless you. Tighten up. Bye.